Kanem-Bornu Empire, a glorious beacon of African civilization, across the shimmering sands of the Sahara and the rich savannas surrounding Lake Chad, an empire once stood that spanned centuries and defied time. The Kanem-Bornu Empire endured for more than 1,000 years, from the 8th to the 19th century, making it one of the longest-lasting and most influential civilizations in African history. The empire began on the eastern shores of Lake Chad, where small communities grew into a powerful state. Over time, Kanem-Bornu expanded into a central force in trade, governance, military strength, and spiritual life. At its height, the empire controlled territories that today include parts of Chad, Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and Libya. It played a central role in shaping the political and cultural landscape of Central and West Africa. The story of Kanem-Bornu is closely tied to the ruling dynasty known as the Sayfawa, or SAF, dynasty. The dynasty traced its roots to Saif ibn Yazan, a noble Arab warrior believed to have come from Yemen. His descendants established the kingdom of Kanem in the 8th or 9th century and began to rule over the nomadic groups around Lake Chad. The early capital, Njimi, was strategically located to control trade and maintain connections with both North African and Sub-Saharan cultures. The Sayfawa dynasty became one of the longest-reigning royal houses in history, ruling for nearly 1,000 years. This remarkable continuity reflected the empire's advanced political institutions and the stability of its leadership. One of the defining features of Kanem-Bornu was its early embrace of Islam. As early as the 11th century, the empire began to adopt Islamic beliefs and practices, and it soon became a center of Islamic learning and spirituality. Islam influenced statecraft, education, architecture, and international diplomacy. Mosques appeared across the empire's cities, and successive kings undertook the pilgrimage to Mecca, strengthening ties with the wider Muslim world. Scholars, judges, and clerics became respected figures in Kanem-Bornu, ensuring that law and order were grounded in Islamic principles. The empire's spiritual life was intertwined with its political identity, shaping the way people lived, governed, and related to the world beyond their borders. Kanem-Bornu was also a commercial giant. Situated along the crossroads of trans-Saharan trade routes, it served as a gateway between Tripoli and the Niger River Valley. The empire exported goods such as ivory, salt, horses, ostrich feathers, and enslaved people, and it imported textiles, books, weapons, and luxury items. This trade brought great wealth, which supported architecture, education, military strength, and cultural growth. The empire's culture blended indigenous African traditions with Islamic and Sahelian influences. The Kanuri people, the heart of the empire, developed a rich heritage of language, poetry, oral history, fashion, and cuisine. Kanem-Bornu's military was well organized and known for its cavalry, strengthened by imported horses. The empire defended itself and expanded its borders under powerful rulers. One of the most notable leaders was Dunama II in the 13th century, who extended the empire into the Sahara and strengthened its influence in the region. Another was Idris Alooma, who ruled from 1571 to 1603. He reformed the army, judiciary, and taxation systems, and introduced gunpowder weapons to the military, strengthening the empire's power. Governance in Kanem-Bornu was sophisticated, with a centralized monarchy supported by provincial governors, advisors, and a complex bureaucracy. After the empire moved to Bornu in the 14th century, the capital became Birni Ngazargamu. It grew into one of Africa's most important cities, a center of political authority and commercial activity. Even in difficult times, Kanem-Bornu demonstrated resilience. In the 14th century, the empire was forced to relocate due to attacks by the Bulola, but it re-emerged stronger in Bornu, west of Lake Chad. In the 19th century, when the Fulani Jihad swept across West Africa, the empire survived through the leadership of the warrior scholar Muhammad al-Kanami, who resisted the attacks and preserved Kanuri identity. Although the Sayfawa dynasty ended in 1846 and European colonialism later claimed the region, the spirit of Kanem-Bornu remains alive. The Borno Emirate in Nigeria, the Kanuri people, and many cultural traditions today are direct descendants of this great imperial past. The Kanem-Bornu Empire stands as a remarkable chapter in world history. Its long-lasting statehood, its role in spreading Islam and scholarship, its control of trade networks, and its cultural contributions are a source of pride for Africa. The empire reminds us that Africa has always been home to sophisticated civilizations, ruled by leaders who valued learning, justice, and commerce long before colonial powers arrived. the story of Kanem-Bornu calls on new generations to rediscover and reclaim a past rooted in excellence and strength. Kanem-Bornu was not simply an empire. It was a vision of African achievement, and a reminder of what Africa was, and what it can become again.